Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. About to go live for 30 books in 30 weeks. So, it is Saturday. We're wrapping up the first week of the month of May already. Get ready, geared up for Mother's Day. And so, I was thinking about moms and motherhood and being a mother. And I want to talk to you guys today about compassion fatigue. So, hey Anthony, how are you, honey? So as you guys come in, feel free to share the video out. Invite some others in on the conversation. That'd be really cool. Hey Ed. I really want to talk about, I'm trying to change lives, Anthony. Like I seriously, I used to have a sign up in my office that said, someday you're going to change the world. And so I firmly believe that. I really do truly believe that. So thank you for that. So today we're talking about compassion fatigue, what that is, what it looks like, how it manifests itself, and particularly as we gear up for Mother's Day. So for those of you who might be coming in a little later, hey Terry, might be coming in a little bit later, maybe don't know who I am, don't know what 30 books in 30 weeks is, but 30 books in 30 weeks is a personal development journey that I am on with all of you guys to raid my personal development library and share ahas, takeaways, and star-studded moments, star-studded tactics that will hopefully, as Anthony said, change lives. I'm Marcy Batiste. I am a public speaker. I'm an author. I'm America's #1 reality-based success and recovery trainer. I'm sold out to my happiness. I live life on Mars, and my favorite thing in the world is to help other women shine, to help them truly discover and embrace their star power. From a standpoint of curing emotional bankruptcy, leaves you feeling kind of empty, spiritually unaligned, like you just feel off, your soul feels off. Long hair don't care. You so silly, Terry. And then, for the physical exhaustion, and that's the aspect I want to really talk about today, is that physical exhaustion. And I called it compassion fatigue, and I think that many of us struggle with it. Basically, compassion fatigue is when you kind of responsible for caring for everybody else, but ain't nobody really looking out for your best interest. How are you feeling? How are you emotionally? Are you spiritually in line? Are your emotions in check? Are you getting your cup refilled? And so that compassion fatigue, as I was thinking about being a mom, being a parent, and how much love we pour into our children, and how many times we've felt just drained based on decisions that our kids are making, choices that they're making for their lives. And the same thing goes when we help others. And so, for those of you who are in a service industry, who are someone who's responsible for others, maybe you have adult, elderly parents that you're caring for, you're a caretaker maybe for someone else, or you're in an industry that serves others. So for me, for instance, as a domestic violence champion, much of my work is with women who are broken. I mean, broken, and rightfully so. But it can be exhausting to care for people who don't want to be cared for, and that's the difference. That's the separator. Hey Philip, that's the separator. Truly finding people that are ready to receive what you're giving, then you're able to refill your cup back up as a caregiver, as someone who is a person of compassion, who's constantly pouring into others. But so oftentimes we find people that we want to extend this level of compassion with, that they don't want to change. They don't want their situation to, they want their situation to improve, but they want you to be more like problem resolution versus being able to provide them support while they make the changes that they need to make. And when you are someone who works with other individuals who are either in need or in pain or in despair, or they're feeling kind of lost, they need direction, that can be it can really, really be exhausting, both physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And so making sure that you do things that will refill your cup. And so one of the things, this week's book has been Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much. And I shared with you guys the other day that I know there's a whole lot of guys out there that do too much too. And you have this giving, truly giving heart. You have this desire to make things better for people. I saw Anthony posted on earlier, changing lives. That's for me one of the things. That's the biggest thing for me, is waking up every morning. I want to, my personal mission statement is to lead with my heart, to love with my head, and to leave a legacy. My daughters can be proud to say that's my mama and this is what she stood for. And so while that's what keeps me motivated, it keeps me inspired, it also sometimes keeps me feeling like I'm spitting in the ocean and like nothing that I do makes a difference, because domestic violence is so huge. It's massive. I feel like, the story about the little boy who's throwing the starfish back one by one, and every time he throws back one, 5 more come ashore. And his dad says to him, he says, well, what are you doing? You can't save all the starfish. And he's like, no, but I saved that one. And that's what it's like for me. Every time I spit in the ocean, I know that I can't change everything. I can't make everything better, but I have to remind myself that the extension of my compassion, the extension of my grace, the extension of my training and the knowledge that I am willing to pour into other people, that allows them to change their lives. If I make a difference in one, then I've changed the world. I've shifted the atmosphere. And shifting the atmosphere on domestic violence is huge for me. I share with you guys all the time. It's on my background, actually, on my Facebook. That survival is a responsibility. I feel responsible to go back and help someone else learn the lessons without having to continue to take the same classes that I had to take. Like, I can give you the abridged version. I got the crib notes. Like, I got the teacher's cheat sheet. But I just need you to sign up, to do the work, to do the memorization, to put in the time that it's going to take to get you where you need to be and where you're trying to go. And compassion fatigue is very real. And the problem with it is that so many times when we're experiencing compassion fatigue, it's partnered with guilt. We feel very guilty about feeling like we need a break from someone we care about. You can't feel that way, because you can't pour from an empty cup. If you are completely fatigued, you're physically exhausted, you're emotionally disconnected, you're on the borderline of checking out mentally, because you just can't do anymore. You've given everything you have to give and there's nothing left. You can't feel guilty for needing to refill your cup. That has to be part of your healing. Healing is an inside job. While I can give you the tools and I can give you strategies that work, if you implement them, it's up to you to implement them. And a lot of times people will continue to take as long as you're willing to give, but you're spitting in the ocean because they're not doing anything with the information once you provide it. Hey Diana, how are you, sissy? And that compassion fatigue then sets in, and then the guilt comes. And then when the guilt comes, now I'm somebody who needs some compassion. I'm somebody who needs someone to pour into me. And oftentimes, because you've been the giver, there's no one around to give back to you. And so being strategic about how you distribute your emotional energy, one of the things of bankable success that is a key philosophy is to optimize those personal and professional investments. And you can't optimize that if you're just giving it away willy-nilly. So you have to be very, very strategic and very intentional about who is going to get my time, who is going to get my attention, at what extent do I cut it off. And oftentimes if you here's the thing about managing compassion fatigue. If you can set some boundaries on the front end that say, I'm only going to give to this point. I'm only going to stretch myself to this far. Then when you reach that point, it's not personal. It's not personal. It's nothing that that other person did. You've just reached your max capacity for right now. And it doesn't mean that you can't show some care and some concern and some affection and provide attention later on. It just means that in the right now, in this moment, I've reached the capacity that I had predetermined was going to be my limit. And it's just like if you're filling up a car with gasoline, the gasoline is what fuels the car, but the car can only take so much gasoline. If you overfill it, it spills out and it's a waste. And it's the same kind of thing that we do with our energy when we're continually pouring and pouring and pouring. There's only so much before there's no more. And it becomes a waste. So like you're continuing to try and pour out, but you're pouring from an empty place. You're exhausted. You're drained. You need compassion. You need someone to love on you for a minute and to care about you for a minute. And so be honest about that going into it and understanding. That's why I want to have this conversation today. Be honest about what your capacity is. And understand that when you feel that way, it's not personal. It has nothing to do with the person you're serving. It has nothing to do with the person you're serving. It's just that you've given all you can give until you can't give anymore. And you need time now to replenish. You might need an hour. You might need 8 hours. You might need 3 days. You might need a week. You might need a vacation. Hell, depending on how much you've poured out, what it's going to take to refill that cup. You understand? But there's so much guilt surrounding needing to serve ourselves and to manage our own needs. Hey, John. And there doesn't have to be. You just have to be strategic about it and know that there is a max capacity for you. There's a max capacity for your compassion. There's a max capacity for your energy. There's a max capacity for your time, for your emotions, for all of that. And once you reach that max, like there is potential to reach that maximum, how do I recover? How do I compensate for that? And so this all came up. So one of the today's excerpts, so today's meditation from Meditations from Women Who Do Too Much, it says loving isn't caretaking and caretaking isn't love. We can't buy love. It's a gift. So understand that when you give love, when you extend compassion, when you extend grace to other people, that you need to be as willing and as prepared to extend caretaking, love, and grace to yourself as you are to other people. So that's it. That's how you fight and how you battle compassion fatigue. That's how you keep your cup refilled. That's how you keep your soul restored. And that's my message for today. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. It's in the hundreds in Arizona already. So welcome to summer, y'all. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow to talk to you guys from another excerpt from this week's book, Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much, and we'll bring you another powerful subject and talk about what else we're going to look at, what else we're going to address. So y'all have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for living life on Mars, y'all.